that time of year again. The sun is shining, barbecues are cooking, albino legs are showing. But most importantly, exams and deadlines are looming. For students, we expect it to be a time of stress, procrastination and crying. It's a time where they're now flocking to what has been a ghost town for the majority of the year, the library. But is this the reality? I'm going to talk to some of them to find out just how they're getting on, right after I finish this work. That's the library right there. And what's immediately striking is that there are a lot of people standing outside it as though they have all the time in the world. Have they no urgency? Let's go ask. Let's go to the males. Notice you're standing outside the library. Does this mean you have exams and deadlines that you're working on?
In an hour.
In an hour? Are you well prepared?
Just about.
Have you been working in the library?
Yeah.
What is the longest you've done in the library?
All-nighter.
All-nighter. How do you manage that? Is it a stressful experience? Do you actually manage to get stuff done, or are you procrastinating a lot of the time?
I mean, I'm like you, but personally I'm a bit of a procrastinator, so I'll sit down for 4 hours and only do half an hour work, so I need to be in there all night to do a good amount. Do
you eat as well? A lot of students I feel like to eat when they revise, so what is your snack of choice when you're revising?
It's got to be a Tesco's meal deal.
Tesco's meal deal as well, and a banana every morning.
A banana?
Banana every morning.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Mine's a froob.
Froob?
I'm kidding, I've actually never had a froob in my life. Have you ever had any exam horror stories?
I've got one real embarrassing one, but I don't really want to mention it.
Oh, tell us. We'll keep it a secret.
Last year I went to an exam and I was really ill the day before, really ill. Went to the exam, I was still feeling ill, but I was like, I've got to go, obviously. Halfway through I felt my stomach playing out, so I ran out the exam hall to the toilet. The exam guy wasn't happy because I was in there a while, but I mean, you can assume what happened, but it wasn't very pleasant.
Oh God.
It wasn't pleasant.
In-betweeners moments. Real life stuff, guys.
He gave me 10 minutes extra to calm down and then I continued.
Who do you think wants to be attacked? Have you had any exam horror stories that you want to share? Have you ever been late to an exam? No. Ever failed an exam?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Oh, did you revise for that exam?
Yeah, just didn't go to as well as I'd hoped it to go, so I just restarted it.
Oh. How would you say you cope with the stress, if at all? What's your method for coping?
I don't think I have one.
You don't have one, so you're not coping basically?
No.
Okay. Let's go. I have a question for you. So I noticed you're standing around the library area.
Yes.
Does this mean you have exams and deadlines coming up?
I've got an exam in a building over there in like half an hour.
You have? How prepared are you feeling for it?
All right. Like, not confident because I don't know what's on it, but like...
You don't know? Oh yeah, of course. It's an exam. How has revising been going for you? Have you been stressed out? Have you been coping well?
Yeah, all right. You just got to have a balance, you know, work smart, not hard.
What's your secret?
I don't know, drugs.
See, what I like to do is I tend to revise for about 5 minutes and then I'll watch a 2-hour film. I'm not very good, so how do you work around that? What's your revising method?
Oh, I decided like back when all the really good films and TV came out that I was just going to reward myself after the exams, because I know if I like start watching like Masters of None, I'll watch the whole series. If I watch like Moonlight, it's like 3 hours. I can't commit to that.
See, that is a good way to do it. Hats off to you for that.
Yeah, I've got a hat.
Sorry to disrupt your work, but I imagine you guys are students.
Yeah.
Have you got exams and deadlines that you're working on at the moment? You haven't? Are you finished? Oh, well done. I thought maybe you were procrastinating. No. Were you a student then and you've just finished?
Yeah.
How did you find it? Were you coping well? Were you stressed? For those who maybe haven't finished their exams yet, what would be your advice to them?
Oh, I don't know, just keep focused, it'll be over soon.
Have you finished your exams? Are you still going?
I didn't have any exams.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, why not?
Because I do an art subject, so we just have to produce a lot of coursework.
Right, yeah, no, that's the same for me. I did English and I only had essays, so
Yeah.
people hate us. How did you get through your coursework? Because coursework, I think, can be a struggle because you've got to work, you've got to put,
Yeah.
you've got to do it all sort of, it's got to be spaced out. So how did you manage? How did you cope in this stressful
You
time?
have to really stay focused because you're constantly doing work. I think you just have to keep in mind that the end is close, and that just always keep in mind what your end goal is to try and motivate yourself to reach that.
So I imagine you had to take breaks. So how did you
Yeah.
space it out?
I just spaced it out by like doing work kind of like 9 to 5 in the day, and then taking the evening off to relax.
Wow, 9 to 5, like a full-time job.
Yeah, I kind of treated it like that, yeah.
Well, kudos to you. I don't know anyone who works that hard or for that long. So I really hope you've done well. I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well done. So that is some advice for you guys. Work 9 till 5 and maybe you'll just about make it. So it seems that there are an array of coping mechanisms with different levels of stress and varying success rates. But either way, just remember, the end is in sight and summer is just around the corner. This has been Trent TV and I've been Millie Pinch. Oh God, is that the time? I need to revise.
The race is on, so go, go, go. Who cares who win or place or show? See Alice run, she's making time, but she can't find the finish line.
I just remembered my stuff is that way.